Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Daily Debate. My name is Ahmed Nader and tonight we're going to focus on Bidaya, or a new beginning, or a new start. The presidential initiative under the directives of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, which took place over the past weeks and months, which are focusing and concentrating on the human development of the Egyptian cadres and of course the education, the health, having more job opportunities, and to be raising the level of awareness of the Egyptians and raising the level of living here, the quality of living here for the Egyptians as well. But we'll be starting straight away with the main headlines and the main top stories that took place for today. One of them coming through the presidential activities of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, as President al-Sisi received on Sunday the General Director of the International Monetary Fund, Kristalina Georgieva, and the accompanying delegation. The meeting tackled the latest developments in the Egyptian economic reform program that is being implemented in partnership with the IMF. President al-Sisi asserted that Egypt is keen on continuing cooperation with the fund during the upcoming period to enhance the economic stability and reduce the inflation rates. Al-Sisi stressed the necessity of dealing with the current challenges that Egypt witnessed in the recent period due to the regional and the international crises that have great repercussions on the foreign currency sources and budget revenues. Al-Sisi also confirmed that reducing the burdens on the citizens is topping the priorities of the state through confronting the inflation, price hikes, as well as continuing the efforts to attract investments. For her part, the IMF chief expressed appreciation for the Egyptian efforts to implement economic reform programs. And within the same context, Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli held a joint press conference with the International Monetary Fund Chief Kristalina Georgieva at the new administrative capital on Sunday. At the conference, Georgieva hailed President al-Sisi's and the Egyptian people's efforts in facing the challenges. IMF chief said that the fund will continue to support Egypt and appreciates the efforts exerted in the current phase. She said the efforts by the government of Egypt and the people are valued because reform is not easy, stressing that Egypt will gain the benefits of reform. Georgieva said that the IMF seeks to support the private sector and create job opportunities. Her talks earlier with Madbouli discussed a number of files of mutual concern, economic stability in Egypt and decreasing the inflation rates. The meeting was attended by the governor of the Egyptian Central Bank, Hassan Abdullah, and a number of ministers and senior officials. On another front, Fitch Rating had announced that it has upgraded the Egyptian long-term foreign currency issuer default rating from B- to B with a stable outlook. Fitch attributed the upgrade to an increase in the international reserves and the recovery in the net foreign asset positions. And to be focusing on such an important topic and such an important visit by the chief of the IMF, Kristalina Georgieva, I'm honored to be having with me over the phone during the course of the program for tonight, Dr. Osama Murad, the financial expert. Dr. Osama, thank you very much for being with us tonight on the Daily Debate. Dr. Osama Murad. Dr. Osama Murad, can you hear me? I think we lost Dr. Osama Murad, the financial expert, and we will be heading to the first report of the Daily Debate for tonight, focusing on the presidential activities. But first, we return to Dr. Osama Murad, the financial expert. Dr. Osama, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Thank you very much for being with us tonight on the Daily Debate. Of course, we did see today the meeting between President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and the head of the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, Kristalina Georgieva, here in Cairo. How do you see the importance of such a meeting, and more specifically the statements made by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi stating that we need more fruitful cooperation between Egypt and the fund in the future.
Yes, it's one of the most important meetings ever, as Egypt is embarking on a very ambitious reform program, and the President has lighted publicly in several speeches in the last 2 weeks that the program has to be restructured to make sure that the lesser fortunate people of Egypt don't suffer under the economic reform program, and that we have to keep inflation intact, and that we cannot devalue the currency further in the current times, and that Egypt will work strongly on engaging the private sector and attracting foreign direct investment to come up with the shortage of foreign currency in the future period. The statements coming from Kristalina are very positive, very supportive of Egypt's current situation and the impact of the current issues Egypt is facing regionally due to the different conflicts in the region. Thus, the initial comments and remarks are extremely positive and supportive.
Yes, Dr. Osama, one of the statements made by His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi today during the meeting with Kristalina Georgieva, the IMF head, was that Egypt, among the rest of the world, it is going through a number of challenges. How do you see the importance of the IMF putting in mind the challenges that the whole world is facing on a financial, on an economic levels upon meeting the demands and upon meeting the responsibilities of Egypt towards the fund?
It is extremely important to consider that Egypt and the fund are partners. It's not a donor-taker relationship, further a relationship of partnership where the IMF recognizes the challenges Egypt is facing, and Egypt is openly working on helping the IMF get the program and achieve the results. Egypt and the IMF have worked together with the other donors to support Egypt's reform program and help it run through the difficulties Egypt is facing, mostly due to regional conflicts.
Yes, Dr. Osama, one of the statements of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, not just today during the meeting, but over the past couple of weeks, even when talking and speaking with the ministers and Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, is that we need to be lessening the burdens on the shoulders of the citizens. How do you see the importance of doing so in the upcoming period, economically and financially, of course?
This is the single most important factor. Egypt is a sum of its citizens. If we hurt citizens and don't care of them, then there is no reform program and there is no need to extend anything. So citizens have been and always will be on top of the mind of Egypt's policy makers, especially President Sisi.
Yes, and finally, Dr. Osama Murad, of course, one of the more important events that took place over the past week and yesterday in specific is that Fitch has upgraded the rating of Egypt from B- to a B with a stable outlook. What does this say about the economic reforms that have been undertaken here in Egypt, and what does this say about the future of investments in the country?
It gives confidence, stability, ensuring to the potential investors stability of the Egyptian pound, ability of Egypt to repay any kind of obligations and debt, and thus will help Egypt further on. This is Kristalina has highlighted even the rating given by Fitch as it's due to a very strong importance, especially at a time where we are awaiting the results of the US elections. And I think that the new administration, regardless who will win, will have more support for Egypt than the previous administration by President Biden.
Yes, Dr. Osama Murad, the financial expert, thank you very much for being with us tonight on the Daily Debate over the phone. We will be heading to the first report of the Daily Debate for tonight, focusing on the presidential activities of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi over the past week, all in the upcoming report. Stay tuned.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi received the President of the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria, President Abdelmajid Tebboune, at Cairo International Airport. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi met the chairman of the European People's Party Group, Mr. Manfred Weber. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi met the CEO of ENI, Claudio Descalzi, and his accompanying delegation of senior executives from the company. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi received a phone call from the Dutch Prime Minister Dick Schoof, and the call touched on ways to enhance bilateral relations. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi spoke over the phone with the President of the Republic of Djibouti, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi met the Director of the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency, William J. Burns.
تحية تقدير واحترام لبطل حقيقي. البطل ده هو مصر وشعبها. الحكاية مش حكاية لا حكومة ولا قيادة، ده حكاية كل مواطن في مصر. أكرمت مصر وشرفت مصر وعزيت مصر، انتم قتلتم. فالشرف كل الشرف والكرامة كل الكرامة والفضل كل الفضل لله سبحانه وتعالى، ثم ليكم انتم. شرفتوني واكرمتموني وعزتوني ورفعت راسي قدام الدنيا كلها باللي انتم عملتوه. والله 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 لن يستطيع اي رئيس يقف مكاني هنا انه يقدر يعمل حاجه بدونكم. لن يستطيع. قصه وطن يتحدث عن نفسه، شعب أراد الحياة فاستجاب له القدر.
Welcome back. You're still watching the Daily Debate, and I am honored to be having with me over the program for tonight Dr. Amr Mabrouk, the professor at the Faculty of Medicine at Ain Shams University. Thank you very much for being with us tonight.
Thank you, sir. It's a great honor to me. Thank you.
The honor is all mine. Of course, we will be heading to the first report of the Daily Debate, focusing on this important topic. Bidaya, a new beginning, a new start, continues to be transforming the lives of millions of Egyptians. We'll be having more details in the upcoming reports, so stay tuned.
Egypt has launched the National Human Development Project Bidaya, or Start in English, upon directives of President Fattah al-Sisi. The project underscores the state's commitment to building the Egyptian individual and a decent life for all citizens across health, education, culture, sports, job creation, and engaging community members in decision-making processes. The ambitious initiative Bidaya aims to ensure that all citizens benefit from the nation's resources fairly and effectively, promoting social justice and sustainable development across Egypt. Its main goals include preserving Egypt's national security and foreign policy, building human capacity and boosting welfare, creating a competitive economy attractive to investment, and establishing political stability and national cohesion. This can be achieved by improving healthcare, education and social protection and creating more job opportunities. It will also focus on empowering women and youth and equipping them with skills needed in the market. Moreover, the government stated that the project will involve coordinated efforts across various ministries, civil society organizations and the private sector to maximize resource utilization and ensure that development benefits are shared widely. Bidaya aligns with Egypt Vision 2030, the National Dialogue's outcomes and the government work program. The initiative also aims to enhance human capabilities and skills, create healthy and athletic generations that are culturally enriched and uphold values, ethics and principles with the support of Al-Azhar, the Egyptian Church and the Ministry of Religious Endowments. Furthermore, it targets establishing creative and innovative generations capable of utilizing modern technology and possessing skills and competences needed for the labor market. Additionally, it aims to develop the government sports, health, education and culture sectors, strengthening the role of the public and private sector and civil society in providing services and achieving integration among them. The project also seeks to update laws with the help of the Ministry of Justice and the Ministry of Parliamentary and Legal Affairs and Political Communication, ensure social protection through the Ministry of Social Solidarity, and develop local communities supported by the Ministry of Planning, Economic Development and International Cooperation and the Ministry of Local Development. The project's core idea of creating a pathway for Egyptian citizens towards self-development and cultural enrichment, aiming to establish an educated, empowered, knowledgeable and ethical individual.